Dear students, now we begin with the last unit, ecology. First chapter of ecology is organism and population. This chapter begins with the level of biological organization. You have studied in lower classes that macromolecule are the lowest level of biological organization. Macro means big molecule, carbohydrate, lipid, nucleic acid, enzyme, vitamin, hormone, etc. These macromolecule make the cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of living organism. Cell of same origin and function form the tissue. Tissue of same type form the organ. Organ form the individual organism, and group of organism of same kind form population. Population of different kind form communities. Community form ecosystem, and different ecosystem form the biome, the highest level of biological organization. At any level of biological organization, we ask two questions. For example, when we hear the bulbul singing early morning in the garden, we may ask, how does the bird sing? Or why does the bird sing? The how type question seek the mechanism in the process. Why type question seek the significance of the process. For first question, we can say, how does the bird sing? Because bird have voice box and vibrating bone. Voice box and vibrating bone in bird helps them to sing. Second question, why does the bird sing? Answer of second question is because the bird need to communicate with its mate during breeding season. So, you can observe nature around you with the scientific frame of mind. You will certainly come up with many interesting questions, like why are night blooming flowers are generally white? What is the reason? Night blooming flowers are pollinated by night animals. So, these animals are not attracted with color. Then, why does bee know which flower has nectar? Bees are selective, and this selectiveness helps them to find nectar in the flower. Then, how chick recognizes her own mother? It is the parental instinct that all higher animals have. So many questions like this we have around us. So, what is ecology? It is the branch of biology which deals with the organism and its surrounding. Ecology is basically concerned with four levels of biological organization. First level organism, second level population, third level community, and fourth is bio. In this chapter you will study first two level organism and population. Now, ecology at the organism level is essentially physiological ecology, which tries to understand how different organisms are adapted to their environment in terms of not only survival but also for reproduction. So, an organism is adapted in its environment for two purposes. One purpose is because it wants to survive, and second is it wants to reproduce. So, survival and reproduction are two important events of an organism. You must have studied how rotation of our planet around the sun and the tilt of its axis cause annual variation in the intensity and duration of temperature, resulting in distinct season. These variation together with annual variation in precipitation. Precipitation means rain and snowfall. So precipitation means rain and snowfall. It accounts for the formation of major biomes such as desert, rainforest and tundra. Now look at the chart. This chart shows two axes. Vertical axis has mean annual temperature in Celsius, and transverse axis has mean annual precipitation. Precipitation means rain and snowfall. Now, our first biome is desert. Look into the desert. Rainfall in desert is very low. You can see start from here 50, it is less than 50, and temperature in desert is very high. Second is grassland. It has fairly low rainfall. Temperature is 59 to 88 centimeter. Now, so second is grassland. Third is the tropical forest. Tropical forest, it receives highest rainfall. The precipitation increases with moisture. Precipitation is also affected by temperature. Warm air can hold more moisture than cool air. So tropical area receive more rainfall than other parts of the world. So highest rainfall is in tropical area. Nearness to mountain and ocean also affect the amount of precipitation in that area. So after tropical, next is temperate forest. This is the temperate forest. Here winter with occasional snowfall occurs. Here, occasional snowfall occur during winter, and they are the second rainiest biome. So temperate is the second rainiest biome. Coniferous forest. You have studied in 11th. Cone shaped canopy of gymnosperm tree occur in coniferous forest. Why the name coniferous is given? Shape of the gymnosperm is cone-like. So canopy of the tree is like a cone. So they form the coniferous forest. Here the mean annual precipitation is 30 to 89 centimeter. In Arctic and alpine tundra, the temperature is below 7 degrees Celsius. Temperature is below 7 degrees Celsius. Here severe prolonged winter occur with abundant snowfall. Melting of vegetation of Arctic region is very scanty. Now, so this chart shows the relation between the rainfall and temperature, and these are the major biome, how they are affected by rainfall and temperature. Now regional and local variation within each biome lead to the formation of wide variety of habitat. Major biomes of India already you have studied. Our planet Earth, life exists not only in favorable condition, but life exists even in extreme and harsh habitat. Scorching Rajasthan desert, perpetually rain-soaked Meghalaya forest, deep ocean trenches, torrential stream, permafrost polar region, high mountain top, boiling thermal spring, and stinging composite pit are some places where life exists in extreme condition. It means in our planet Earth, life is not only occur in favorable habitat, but in most unfavorable habitat also different form of life occur. Even in our intestine is a unique habitat of hundreds of species of microbe. So life exists anywhere. Which are the key factors which cause variation in season and which changes chemical condition of that habitat? The most important factors are temperature, water, light, and soil. We must remember the physico-chemical component alone do not characterize a habitat of an organism. Means habitat of an organism is not only controlled by physical factor, it is also controlled by some biotic factor, living factors like pathogen, parasite, predator, and competitors. So habitat is controlled by two types of organism, abiotic and biotic. Abiotic are temperature, light, soil and water, and biotic factors are the pathogen, predator, parasite and competitors. Now first you will study the abiotic factor of the habitat. Which is the important abiotic factor? Temperature. You have studied that temperature ranges when we move from equator to the polar region. Temperature decreases when we move from equator to the polar region. It also decreases when we move from the mountain, from the plain to the mountain. So, however, the unique habitats are there controlled by temperature. You have studied the thermal spring where temperature is more than 100 degrees Celsius. Acidothermophile bacteria can survive even in this high temperature. You know, mango tree cannot grow in temperate countries like Canada and Germany. Snow leopard are not found in Kerala, and tuna fish are rarely caught beyond the tropical latitude in the ocean. So every organism has its own habitat which is controlled by temperature. So temperature has its own significance. It controls our kinetic energy of enzyme through the basal metabolism. In 11th you have studied enzymes are protein in nature. Enzyme of our body act at particular temperature. Higher temperature makes enzyme inactive. So a particular temperature is required for the activity of enzyme and our basal metabolic activities. A few organisms can tolerate and thrive in a wide range of temperature. They are called eurythermal. Eury means white and thermal means temperature. So what is eurythermal? Some organism can survive in a wide range of temperature. They are called eurythermal. But vast majority of them are restricted to a narrow range of temperature. They are called stenothermal. Steno means narrow, thermal means temperature. So on the basis of temperature, we can classify living organism into two groups. Eurythermal, which can tolerate wide range of temperature, and stenothermal, which can tolerate only narrow range of temperature. Second factor is water. After temperature, water is the most important factor in the life of living organism. In fact, life on earth has originated in water, and water is available in limited amount in desert than in other places. So desert animals have special adaptation to cope up with the scarcity of water. The productivity and distribution of plant also occur in presence of water. We can think that living organism in ocean, lake and river should not face any water problem. What we think that organism which live in water, they don't face any water problem. But it is not so. pH of water is also important. So, some organism can survive only in saline water and some can survive in fresh water. It is due to tolerance of pH which is controlled by water. The salt concentration measured as salinity in parts per thousand is less than 5 in island water, 30 to 35 in sea water and less than 100% in some hypersaline lagoon. So salt concentration also control the life of water organism. Some organisms are restricted. Some organisms can tolerate a wide range of salt. They are called euryhaline. Eury means white, haline means salt. Some can tolerate a narrow range of salt concentration. They are called stenohaline. Steno means narrow, haline means salt. So two types of organisms are there in the sea. Some can tolerate high range of salt concentration. They are called euryhaline. Other can tolerate narrow range of salt concentration. They are called stenohaline. Now light. Light is an important factor in the life of living organism. You have studied photosynthesis in plant, which occur in presence of sunlight. Photosynthesis is a process which gives us food. So existence of the whole world depend upon photosynthesis. Many species are autotroph. They can prepare their own food. Many species of plant, herb and shrub growing in forest are adapted to photosynthesize optimally under very low light condition because they are constantly overshadowed by tall canopies of the plant. What is the meaning of this? Herb, shrub, trees are small plant and they grow in the shadow of tall trees. So they are able to perform photosynthesis even under low sunlight. Many plants are dependent on sunlight to meet the photoperiodic responses. What is photoperiod? Duration of light received by a plant. Why it is so? Some plant produce flower during summer because they need more duration of sunlight. Some produce flower during winter because they need less amount of sunlight, and some plant produce flower throughout the year because they are not affected by the intensity of light. So light affect photosynthesis as well as photoperiodism. For many animals, light is important. They use the diurnal and seasonal variation in light intensity. The availability of light on land is closely linked with that of temperature, and the source of temperature is the sun. But in deep ocean, environment is perpetual dark and its inhabitants are not aware of the existence of celestial source of energy. What is the meaning of this? Why some plant occur on the bottom of the sea? Some plant occur in between, and some plants are found on the surface of the ocean. The marine plant growing at different depth of ocean get different color component wavelength of visible spectrum. Repeating, the marine plant growing at different depth of sea, they receive different component or wavelength of visible spectrum. Because of this reason, different types of algae, brown, green, and red, occur at different depth in the sea. The red algae with red pigment, phycoerythrin, is found in greater depth of the sea and absorb blue light for photosynthesis. So red algae occur towards the bottom and absorb only blue light for photosynthesis. Brown pigment occur in the middle and they can absorb blue-green light of the spectrum. Green pigment absorb red or blue color of the light, and they are found on the top of the tree. So three types of algae, which say red, brown, and green, occur at different depths in the ocean. Red occur towards the bottom. It receives only blue light. Brown occur in the center and it receives blue-green light. Green pigment can absorb red or blue color of the light, and it is found on the top of the ocean. Next abiotic factor is soil. What is soil? The nature and property of soil vary according to habitat and climate. Soil is transported or sedimentary, and the soil development occur due to disintegration of the rock. Various characteristics of soil as soil composition, grain size, and aggregation determine the percolation and water holding capacity of the soil. Percolating means water goes slowly towards the lower level through the soil particle. This is called percolation. And how much water a soil particle can hold, that is called the water holding capacity of the soil. These characteristics, along with parameters such as pH, mineral composition, and topography, determine to a large extent the vegetation in any area. So, today you have studied 4 abiotic components of the environment. Which are these four abiotic components? Temperature, water, light, and soil.